The Mediterranean sun glinted off the polished yacht's deck, a stark contrast to the cold calculation brewing beneath the surface. I watched my sister Sophia adjust her designer sunglasses, her manicured fingers gripping a champagne flute with practiced elegance. We were nothing alike, a truth that had defined our relationship since childhood. Our parents' immigrant story was etched into my memory. Rafael and Maria Rodriguez, who arrived from Argentina with nothing but hope and 2 suitcases. They'd worked relentlessly, my father as a mechanic, my mother cleaning offices, to give us opportunities they never had. But where I inherited their work ethic and innovation, Sophia had always been different. She saw success as a competition, a zero-sum game where my victory meant her defeat. My AI technology wasn't just another startup. It was a revolutionary system that could predict and mitigate global supply chain disruptions, something that could save billions in economic losses. Venture capitalists were circling, and the latest valuation put my company at just over $1 billion, a sum that could transform our family's entire generational trajectory. Sophia's legal career had been a constant struggle, mounting debts, failed partnerships, and a lifestyle that perpetually outpaced her income created a perfect storm of desperation. I'd helped her before, paying off credit card bills, covering her rent during tough months. But something had changed. I could see the hunger in her eyes, a predatory gleam that went beyond mere sibling rivalry. "Another drink, Elena?" she asked, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. The yacht cut through the azure waters off Monaco's coast, a playground for the wealthy and ambitious. Our family reunion trip was anything but a genuine celebration. I could feel the tension coiled beneath her seemingly casual demeanor, like a snake ready to strike. My technology wasn't just a product, it was my life's work, developed through countless sleepless nights, personal sacrifices, and an unwavering belief that technology could solve humanity's most complex challenges. Each line of code represented a piece of my soul, a testament to the immigrant resilience our parents had instilled in me. Sophia moved closer, her designer heels clicking against the yacht's pristine deck. The wind whipped her perfectly styled hair, a calculated image of success that masked a deeper, more ruthless ambition. "Beautiful day," she said, her voice smooth as silk, but carrying an undercurrent I'd learned to recognize. I smiled back, knowing that beneath our polite facade, a war was brewing. A war that would test the very definition of family, loyalty, and survival. I had no idea how right I was. One moment I was leaning against the yacht's railing, watching the horizon, and the next, a sudden, sharp push. The world tilted, Mediterranean blue rushing up to meet me with shocking speed. The impact was cold, brutal, knocking the breath from my lungs. I understood immediately. This was no accident. My training in competitive swimming from years ago saved my life. Even as shock rippled through me, my body responded mechanically. Treading water, I watched the yacht continue its trajectory, Sophia's silhouette motionless at the stern. She thought I was dead. The fishing boat that rescued me was crewed by weathered Portuguese fishermen who spoke little English. Their broken communication and my rudimentary Portuguese worked to my advantage. No one knew Elena Rodriguez hadn't disappeared into the Mediterranean's depths. Accessing my encrypted cloud files through a burner phone one fisherman reluctantly let me use, I discovered the full extent of Sophia's plan. She had already begun moving to acquire my technology patents, using forged documents claiming power of attorney. Her legal background made the paperwork look devastatingly authentic. Bank transfers, legal documents, communication logs, everything painted a meticulous picture of premeditated murder and corporate theft. Sophia hadn't just wanted to eliminate me, she wanted to erase my entire technological legacy. The most painful revelation wasn't the attempted murder. It was how thoroughly she had planned every detail. Multiple law firms were already processing patent transfers. Investment groups were being notified of my tragic accident. My life's work was being systematically dismantled, piece by calculated piece. I thought of our parents. What would they say if they knew their daughters had come to this? By the time I made contact with my most trusted tech colleague, Marcus, I had transformed from victim to something far more dangerous. Sophia believed she had won. She had no idea I was already plotting my return. "I need complete digital invisibility," I told Marcus, "and I need to start gathering evidence." His response was immediate. "How bad?" "Worse than you can imagine." The fishing boat dropped me at a small coastal town. Nobody would be looking for a dead woman, and Sophia had no idea that her biggest mistake wasn't just trying to kill me, it was leaving me alive. Revenge, I knew, would be a precisely engineered algorithm of destruction. Marcus connected me with an underground network of tech experts and digital forensic specialists. We operated from a series of secure locations: a small apartment in Lisbon, then a remote cabin in the Swiss Alps, moving constantly to prevent any potential tracking. My first priority was building an impenetrable digital case against Sophia. I began constructing a complex web of digital breadcrumbs, each meticulously designed to expose her crimes without revealing my survival. My AI technology, the very thing she'd tried to steal, became my most powerful weapon. I created sophisticated algorithms that could trace every digital transaction, every communication, every minute detail of Sophia's professional and personal life. Financial records revealed a desperate woman drowning in debt. Her law firm was on the brink of collapse, with multiple malpractice suits pending. The yacht accident wasn't just about stealing my patents. It was her last-ditch attempt at financial salvation. Marcus helped me establish ghost identities, creating digital personas that could infiltrate Sophia's professional networks. We developed a multi-layered approach that would systematically dismantle her entire world. Each piece of evidence was carefully authenticated, each digital trail meticulously crafted to be untraceable yet irrefutable. "She won't see it coming," Marcus would say, his fingers flying across multiple keyboards. "We're building a digital guillotine." My technological expertise gave me an unprecedented advantage. Where Sophia saw a legal problem, I saw a complex system to be decoded and manipulated. I began planting subtle digital triggers, information seeds that would grow into full-blown professional and personal catastrophes. Bank records, communication logs, hidden financial transactions, everything became potential ammunition. I discovered Sophia had been involved in more than just attempted murder. Her legal career was a house of cards built on fraudulent representations, hidden conflicts of interest, and ethical violations that would destroy her if exposed. The most challenging part was maintaining absolute invisibility. Every communication, every digital interaction was designed to be untraceable. I became a ghost, more powerful and dangerous than any physical threat. Our parents had always taught us that survival meant adaptation. Sophia had forgotten that lesson. I was about to remind her. "Ready for phase 1, I told Marcus, watching a complex algorithm begin its silent work of destruction. The hunter had become the hunted, and I was just getting started. The systematic dismantling of Sophia's life began with surgical precision. My first target was her professional reputation. I anonymously triggered a series of investigative threads that would unravel her carefully constructed legal persona. An encrypted email found its way to the State Bar Association, a meticulously crafted document detailing her pattern of ethical violations. Each allegation was backed by digital evidence so clean, so irrefutable, that it would trigger an immediate investigation. Within weeks, Sophia's law firm started receiving uncomfortable questions. Client meetings became interrogations. Senior partners began distancing themselves, sensing the impending storm. I watched through carefully monitored digital channels, each notification a small victory. But this was just the appetizer. Her largest corporate client, a multinational tech firm she'd represented for years, received anonymous documentation showing how Sophia had been manipulating conflict of interest guidelines. Bank transfers, hidden communications, strategically redacted emails that suggested deeper corruption. The digital trail was a work of art, each piece of evidence more damning than the last. Marcus helped me construct these digital landmines. Think like a system, he would say. Every connection is a potential vulnerability. I expanded my attack. Social media became a silent battlefield. Carefully constructed bot networks began amplifying subtle narratives about Sophia's professional misconduct. Each post seemed organic, each comment appearing to come from different sources, a chorus of seemingly independent voices questioning her integrity. Her personal finances weren't safe either. I triggered subtle investigations into her tax returns, her real estate investments. Each thread pulled would unravel another part of her carefully constructed facade. Credit agencies received anonymous tips. Investment firms began asking uncomfortable questions. The most brilliant part of my strategy was its invisibility. Sophia would feel the pressure mounting, but she couldn't trace its origin. Each blow seemed to come from a different direction, a death by 1,000 digital cuts. Her paranoia began to show. I monitored her communications. She was becoming increasingly erratic. Late-night phone calls, desperate meetings with financial advisors, hushed conversations about managing the situation. She had no idea the situation was me. Family gatherings became minefields. Our parents noticed her increasing stress, her sudden nervousness. The perfect sister image was crumbling, and I was the silent architect of her destruction. Sometimes, I told Marcus, watching another carefully placed digital trigger activate. Revenge is an algorithm best served cold. The net was tightening, and Sophia had no idea how close the trap was to closing. I chose the annual Technology and Innovation Summit in San Francisco, the most public stage possible. Sophia would be presenting what she believed was her ultimate triumph: the acquisition and presentation of my groundbreaking AI technology patent. The conference center buzzed with anticipation. Tech moguls, venture capitalists, and industry leaders filled the grand hall. Sophia walked onto the stage wearing a tailored black Armani suit, the picture of corporate confidence. Her presentation slide deck gleamed with stolen patent information, her voice smooth and practiced. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, "today we unveil a technological breakthrough that will revolutionize global supply chain management." The moment was exquisite. I activated the first digital trigger. Large screens behind her suddenly flickered, displaying a comprehensive timeline of her criminal activities. Bank transfers, forged documents, communication logs detailing her attempted murder. Every dirty secret laid bare in high-definition clarity. Gasps rippled through the audience. Sophia froze, her professional composure cracking. The first image showed her on the yacht, the precise moment she pushed me overboard. Security camera footage, GPS tracking, communication records, AEO, meticulously constructed narrative of attempted murder and corporate theft. "Hello, sister," I said, walking onto the stage. The room went silent. I was very much alive, and I had brought receipts. For months, Sophia believed she had successfully eliminated me and stolen my life's work, I announced, my voice cutting through the stunned silence. What she didn't realize was that every action leaves a digital fingerprint. The evidence was overwhelming. Financial fraud, attempted murder, patent theft, each accusation backed by irrefutable digital documentation. I had transformed her carefully constructed lie into a public execution of her reputation. Legal representatives from her firm sat shell-shocked. Investors began furiously checking their phones, verifying the information now projected across massive screens. Sophia's entire professional network was watching her systematic destruction in real time. The gift I mentioned? I pulled out a USB drive. Complete documentation for law enforcement, the State Bar Association, and every regulatory body that oversees corporate conduct. Her legal career was over, her reputation obliterated. The silence was more devastating than any scream could have been. Years of planning, of strategic digital manipulation, had culminated in this moment. I wasn't just exposing her crimes, I was dismantling her entire existence, piece by calculated piece. As security approached her, Sophia looked at me, not with anger, but with a strange mixture of respect and terror. She understood now. This was never just about revenge. This was about justice. Sophia faced multiple felony charges: attempted murder, corporate fraud, patent theft. The State Bar immediately suspended her law license. Her once promising legal career dissolved like smoke, leaving nothing but ash and legal summons. Our parents were devastated. Maria wept silently, unable to comprehend how her daughters could reach such a point of destruction. Raphael oscillated between anger and profound sadness. The immigrant dream of family unity shattered in a single, brutal moment. I didn't take pleasure in the destruction. Revenge had been a precise algorithm, not an emotional satisfaction. My technology patents were fully restored, the billion-dollar valuation intact. But the human cost was far more complex. Psychological evaluations revealed Sophia's actions weren't simple greed. Years of perceived inadequacy, financial pressure, and a lifetime of living in my shadow had created a perfect storm of desperation. She hadn't just wanted my money, she wanted to prove her own worth. The legal proceedings became a media spectacle. Every detail of our family's internal struggles was dissected by journalists, talk shows, true crime podcasts. Our private pain became public entertainment. I used a portion of the patent's value to establish a foundation supporting immigrant entrepreneurs, transforming our family's narrative of struggle into a mechanism of hope. It was my way of honoring our parents' journey, of creating something meaningful from the destruction. Reconciliation wasn't impossible, but it would take time. Years, perhaps. The wound was too deep, the betrayal too profound. During one of her rare prison visits, Sophia asked me a simple question: was it worth it? I looked at my sister, broken, defeated, yet still searching for understanding, and realized that revenge was never about winning. It was about finding a path to heal. We're more than this moment, I told her. The Rodriguez sisters' story wasn't over. It was simply entering a new chapter.